Okay, so this is a new learning building for Wangaratta District Specialist School. It's a very special project for our office. It merges our interest in education with designing spaces for people with varying abilities. So the school is a public specialist school. It caters for students with mild to severe intellectual and physical disabilities from the age of 5 to 18 years of age. It's located in Wangaratta, not far from the New South Wales border, on Yorta Yorta country. And so the project started in 2020, but our practice was about 7 years old. This is a project that we, previous to this project, we had quite a lot of experience in interior or alterations and additions. This was the first new building that we were engaged to undertake. The period was a significant learning experience for all of our team, as well, just due to the complexity of designing for people with varying abilities. Through the course of the project, our office grew from the previous image to this and has provided a unique opportunity for growth for all team members in this future following the EmAGN demographic through the 3-year development and construction phases of the project. Given the collaborative nature of our office, it's meant that almost everyone in this photo has had some input into the project. However, for the purposes of the presentation, we'll focus on the journey that Lauren and I have had through the process, with both of us working closely on the project from start to finish. I acted as the project director whilst Lauren was initially a graduate on the project and evolved into a registered architect and later took on the role of project architect during the contract admin phase. And as I mentioned, the project started in deep 2020 lockdown. There was also a project that helped us define our online collaboration tools, processes which we continue to sort of utilise in the office to this day. So I'll take you through the context of the project and some of the key collaborative processes. So this is the project site highlighted in red, so it's in a really residential area. And to the north of that sort of red line is another school, and so the specialist school at the bottom is sort of rapidly expanding, and as part of the project, basically had to expand over the border of the school next door and sort of negotiate sort of shared space in the middle. So sort of ending up with the boundary of the school something like this. The school itself was desperately in need of some love, so this is the main entrance to the school, and they primarily operated out of really new builds that have been sort of refit with sort of specific equipment to help with accessibility, but was really not fit for purpose and really difficult for the school to kind of envision how they would even refit or design this new building. So all of the buildings that are highlighted there are really vehicles. And the school had sort of the idea of how they could sort of forecast what would meet their needs. To help them visualise this and to develop our own understanding of this typology, which was new to both of us, we undertook several site visits across the state with the school principals to learn and build projects. To develop this further, we conducted interviews and ran workshops with senior leadership, teachers, parents, and allied health professionals. This helped us to build an understanding of the design requirements of the school to fulfill their practical needs, but also to produce dignified and exciting design outcomes. And in learning about the special needs of these students, we also came to understand the range of sensory processing issues that students can have. In collaboration with the school, we eventually came to an understanding that there would be 4 key types of spaces that would be required: calm and focused spaces to help with attention span and maintain focus, social spaces to develop flexible skills, support spaces, and then finally sensory spaces. So, working through the plan, there's a mirrored module of 3 classrooms and sort of bound through the centre with sort of we call it a more active sort of corridor and spine with all of the allied health and the more kind of sort of group work and sensory spaces. So we took leadership in the design process by suggesting back to the school that we engage with diverse sensory needs of students and that this become a key driver for the building. So we began to map out the ways that we can engage with each of the senses across the building. Adding these elements was quite a feat given the tight budgets of the PSBA project, so we had to get quite inventive with materials. There are a series of spaces which provide visual stimulation, a dedicated sensory room, which you can see here with custom tubular light ceiling. And these are just everyday PVC tubes. There are these two visual knocks coming off the main corridor space. They're lined with soft carpet and acoustic material and have custom lights installations and the ability to play back sound. Within the building, we've used a wide variety of weird and wonderful tactile materials, different kinds of rubbers, timbers, mattings. There are these dedicated tactile walls through the building. And this was an idea that we carried onto the external skin of the building, where there's these bands of tactile brickwork as well. The vestibular system relates to our sense of balance and spatial awareness. There's these large rubber mounts that challenge students to balance on uneven ground. These two other nooks in the corridor that engage with bodily spatial awareness, engaging with sound as well through sound straight back. The sense of smell is carried through with the selection of planting throughout the gardens, and the sense of taste through the central kitchen and the adjoining vegetable patches. And again, we continue this idea through the selection of planting and the design of the sensory gardens. So I'll just quickly move through the form of the building. So starting with these two columns, the roof's then split to allow for high-level lights deep into the floor plate, and a series of large pop-ups with north-facing windows to bring in more light to special areas and purge hot air. The external floor is broken down to allow the building to breathe as a collection of village buildings to assist with legibility. And the fences of the breakout space reads a continuous second skin, as much of the existing campus has strong language of fences and enclosure, so we wanted this element to read as a playful extension of the building rather than as a language of security. Materially, we have a use of patchwork of bricks and textures to bring the idea of tactility onto the skin of the building. This view shows the large-scale pop-ups, the playful language of the fences, the external breakout spaces, the life skill spaces, the focused classroom spaces. The building is 100% electric and has an array of new cells on the roof and adopts passive design that will design principles and harvest rainwater. The project looks to push the aesthetics of accessibility by providing warm, engaging, and playful spaces that embrace difference, whilst challenging the cold and clinical aesthetics often associated with spaces providing care. Through this project, we wish to push the conversation around accessible design and advocate for design that is responsive to users with sensorial sensitivities to make outcomes more fitting and more delightful. This project has had a lasting impact on both our individual development as individuals and specifically as a practice, and we're currently working with the development campus for Wangaratta Specialist School. And earlier in the year, we were awarded a significant research grant by Victorian to continue our research into disabilities. Well done.